2006, man. Before I was into hip-hop, I didn't even know that there was a Buffalo hip-hop scene. But then as soon as I started making music and hearing about different people, I found out that there's a big hip-hop scene in Buffalo that like is known throughout the whole state.
I got into hip-hop when I was in 2nd grade. My brother had hooked me up with the Tupac CD and Tribe Called Quest CD, and they were really my first CDs. And then 5th grade, my other brother got me the Beastie Boys, and basically from there, I just took all his rap CDs that he had.
I've got Wu-Tang 36 Chambers was the first actual rap CD I had. And since then, I was in 4th grade, so the thing that got me was the vulgarity on the album. I was like, dude, they're saying fuck every other sentence, and they're talking about killing people, and I was like, this is awesome.
The first rap album I ever bought was Jay-Z, Life and Times of Sean Carter, Volume 2. It was the first album I bought with parental advisory, and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. So I went home and played that. And ever since then, I don't know, yeah, hip-hop's just been, yeah, in my veins.
I got into hip-hop at the young age of like 4th grade. I always liked something with a beat growing up, like Michael Jackson or whatever. But I'd be watching MTV, watching videos, and I'd see like the latest Nas video or something like that, or like the Fugees video, or like Biggie, even like Puff Daddy or something. I'd go and get the CD.
I've been involved in hip hop as an MC for about 4 years, with it starting just with freestyle, and me and Who-Wizzy freestyling at parties, drinking, having a good time. That turned into actually writing songs, and then from there, you know, taking it serious and then wanting to record it.
And so then I just started buying more rap CDs, and I would just go to the store and buy rap CDs from rappers I never heard of just because I liked the cover of them, and that's how I started just getting into more people. But then it came along when I started getting into underground hip-hop and hearing the artists talk about how like they are recording the music in their room and making all their beats like that. I'm starting to think, you know what? I'm like, I gotta do this. I won't be able to live with myself. If I get to be 40 years old and I have not made underground hip-hop music, I'll look back on my life and be like, not happy with it.
After listening to hip-hop for so long, and really being into it, got a set of turntables at 16 and started scratching stuff, and then got acid and learned how to record a little bit. Using loops and stuff, you'd take a break beat and record some scratching over it or whatever. And then from there, I'd never really produced, I just got better and better at scratching. And then when I went to college 2 years ago, I was bored in the dorms and just ended up learning how to make beats.
I started rapping when I was about 16 or 17. I went to Canisius High School on Delaware, and I lived like 4 blocks away. And I just started freestyling every day when I would walk there and back because I didn't have shit better to do. And then I got like semi-decent at it, and then I decided to try and start writing. And then from there on, I just, you know, kept doing it, stuck with it. Yeah, I bust out a little freestyle under the light in the painted room. Got the interview pop and feel I'm in a tune, but you can sit back and wait till I'm in the booth. The truth is like Abraham Lincoln, and I'm stinking for the thinking. Write down each verse like I'm writing a hearse. Put them guys listening and hope it was glistening, but it wasn't the bling. It was something in between. Sear 'em and sing behind the bars. Hope they don't lock me up. I'm sick with the flow and I could rip it even if I hiccup. Dr. Oog up in the city.
Really though, as a writer, my content is more influenced by people like Martin Luther King and like Allen Ginsberg and other people, other authors and stuff like that. Kind of like Howell, hearing that from Ginsberg, kind of like, because honestly I can't really relate too much about shooting people. And you know, everyone has their skeletons and their struggles, but I mean, I'm not very gangster.
I'll just be driving in my car and I'll put a song on that I like, that maybe I haven't heard in a while, and I'll be like, oh man, when I get home, I'm like, I gotta make a beat or I gotta write a rhyme. And it's really just like I wake up and I want to do it. It's something inside of me that it's like a top priority when I wake up.
Mainly since I do a lot of sampling, I draw my inspiration from my day and my sample. Like if I'm having a good day, I'll find samples that'll represent that good day, and I won't even hear the dark samples. And if I'm having a bad day, I won't even hear the happy samples. Like I'll only hear the bad samples, you know, like deep dark notes and C minors and D minors and stuff.
My verses kind of come to me in stanzas. Like whether if I'm walking down the street or I think of something, like some sort of like 4 or 5 lines, I'll write them down, and then like somebody will play a beat and I'll pull it out of my pocket and read it over, and the beat will like portray a certain mood, and I'll think, all right, start adding this, adding a little bit of rhymes and try to match it, create a song. All right, this is a piece that I wrote. What did you ask me? I could tell you the last thing. Passively drafting, romantic embroidered, covering curtain stabbing, loiter, hovering, posy, tacky, cliche jacking, repetitive language, fall in a rut, that's life, ball in the cut like tears heal wounds, sedative tracks, same bridge, collapse, deep parallel structures stretched to the max, gravel, dirt, grass, pronunciating, little syllables fading, walk for ages, loose speech, animal cadence, talk to pages, click, image saving. But that's all I have from there.
Mainly it's a sample that I get my inspiration from, but I guess just life in general. You know, when you're living, like when you're hip hop, you know, when you do hip hop and you live hip hop, like inspiration is just everything, like just the way you live. So it all is coming at you. And then when you sit down to make a beat or whatever at your machine, it's all right there. And it's just whatever you've been thinking, a big stress reliever.
With anything, you got to master your craft and just keep writing and writing. And if you're making beats, you got to keep making beats, and you got to keep digging for samples. And I don't know, the biggest thing is just sticking with it. And I've had problems with that. I mean, sometimes I go fucking 2-3 weeks without writing anything. I mean, I'll freestyle here and there because that's what I love almost more than writing, is just freestyling. But yeah, just, I don't know, a lot of just sticking with it and not dropping it and always keeping up on it like it was anything else, a sport or whatever you want to do.
The fresh style, let me show you. Let me show you. Show you. Yeah.
With a lot of mainstream hip hop, it's more about the music and making your head nod and getting you dancing in the club. Where a lot of underground hip hop is more lyrical, more in depth, and kind of has more to say. Where mainstream rap, they just, I mean, some of it I love. I love a lot of mainstream rap, but a lot of it, doesn't do hip hop justice at all because they're creating that stereotype where, it's just, it's music to shake your ass to in the club or, whatever.
Mainly, I would probably listen to underground because it has more substance. It's substantial. They talk about meaning and try to get you to feel or think that same meaning instead of just partying or whatever. But if I got like some girls over or we're hanging out at a party, I'll probably just play the mainstream because it'll get people just moving and stuff,
Mainstream and underground, like I've said, is more of a thought process. But mainstream, I decided that's rap, and underground is hip hop. Like that's what I've come to the conclusion. Because rap is an MC, maybe a DJ, and like a record deal.
Yeah, it's a lot of just finger snapping bullshit. So yeah, I would consider myself underground, where you're not trying to sell yourself to anyone, and you're just doing what you feel is right and what sounds good, and you can talk about whatever you want, and it could be some important shit, or it could be, whatever you feel like talking about.
Hip hop is a whole lifestyle and a culture. So when you're hip hop, I feel like there only is an underground. And when you rap, you're making hits for the clubs, and you're making anything that'll sell, regardless of what you look like, how much of a fool you look like, and how gangster you act, and how faking the funk you are. You don't care as long as you're making that money and you're riding the beat or whatever. And when you're hip hop or you're underground, it's a lifestyle. Like I make beats, and if I don't make a beat, like I go crazy or whatever, Like I want to make beats. So it's the same with MCs. Like they want to MC and graph writers. Like they want to go out and write.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between the underground hip hop scene and commercial hip hop scene. I mean, it seems more and more every day artists are putting out what's going to be a fucking good ringtone jam. Like, oh, this is going to kill on the ringtone scene or whatever, and that's just absurd.
And the underground people, they love hip hop more, and I think a lot of the times people think that they're really truer to the music, and they might be in most parts, like as far as not doing what other people tell them, like they don't want to sign because they have a certain artistic view, and they don't want anybody to try to steer that differently. Like they want it this way, and they're not gonna let a label try to tell them this is not how it's doing. Underground's more like creative.
Being independent is the way to go, and a lot of MCs and a lot of music people are realizing that, and they're taking advantage of it. The little man today is actually getting a shot to actually do something instead of 10 years ago where the major labels were pretty much running the music industry. Now these people are opening up their eyes and saying, I'm gonna do this by myself.
To be completely honest, and I've always said this to myself and other people, and sometimes people I think don't get where I'm coming from when I say it, but if I go nowhere with it, I will not be upset with it, because I just like to make it. If it ends up that I'm making it and I'm the only one hearing it in my car when I'm driving to work, because I'm just hearing the songs I make, I'll be fine with that.
Ukraine, a country of some 52 million people, is in almost total blackness tonight in the wake of a series of freakish lightning storms of catastrophic proportion, which struck the country at approximately 4 a.m. local time.